Hello, hello, hello. To anyone who saw my last upload about the Demon Slayer farm build with Preacher, Restless Spirits, Lucifer's Wrath, and whatever, I deleted the heck out of that video because it was kind of useless. And the only thing that really was doing damage was Bone Storm. Because Lucifer's Wrath scales off weapon base damage, and Restless Spirits wasn't doing any damage. So it was just kind of flashy, and the only skill that was doing damage was my Bone Storm. But as I was redoing another version, I decided I might as well try to go as budget as possible. And here we are. So I'm using the Iris. It has flash fire, but that doesn't do anything with this build at all. I just used a key earlier in the season, and I didn't want to keep rolling. Just wanted to use one key because I was using the Iris for quite a long time. And of course, it uses the bone set and Enigma. The most important pieces, of course, are Enigma and the bone set. You can replace the Iris with like Spell Shard and Ancient Aegis, something else even. Maybe even Shadow Buckler for more speed if you want. I'm not wearing a helmet at all because I don't have a spare thinking cap and I'm not spending 400k just for a video. Because I sold my thinking cap a while back. But I tested this before recording, and I don't even need the helmet to clear, so you'll be fine. Okay, so set. Increases Bone Storm's damage, AoE, and tick rate. Okay. Iris, very good. Weapon, very good stats for especially level requirement 90. Helmet, nothing. And Rainbow. This will probably be the second most expensive item, behind Enigma, of course. But it doesn't use any high runes, so it should be fine. But it's very powerful for how relatively cheap it is to craft. And you won't have a shield, so you'll lose a bit of defense, but you should be fine. If you have a Thinking Cap, it comes with Mana Shield. You just equip it here as a skill. And you don't have to keep it on your hotbar. You can equip it. If it was here, toggle it on, unequip it, put back these skills, and it'll stay until you leave the lobby or run out of mana. So don't get hit a ton. Just like you have reduction too, like you'll be fine on Hell 5, but I'm just talking about maybe a bit higher, maybe a CT or whatever. But this is as budget as it gets. Obviously, you can make it better with this than this with some upgrades. I'm also using a level 1 monkey skin, so there's that as well. I just slapped on the monkey skin for CDR and speed at 48% CDR. I probably should have put a Vaughn in there. Let's just do that now. Sorry. Yeah, Vaughn Def, whatever. Looks ugly, I hate having like different runes, but I already have it in other places as well because my main build, my resist sucks. I still need to work on that. But anyways, that's the gear. All relatively cheap, besides Enigma, which is like the main crux of the build with teleport. Other than that, here's my skills. I spec'd into Blood Demons because I think they have like the best cleanup out of any skill. You don't really need to... You don't have to have high APS, and you don't need to aim. They just kind of home in on the enemies you are slightly out of range with Bone Storm, or Blood Surge, whatever. Ominous Presence, obviously just for a bit better farm. And yeah, that's that. Now with teleport, it's probably gonna get a bit probably gonna take a bit of getting used to, because you teleport. I have teleport and Bone Storm on the same bind, but in order to cast Blood Surge, you have to let go of teleport. So I just hold left click and right click, and then when I want to cast Blood Surge, I let go of right click. Keep going, let go, keep going, let go, keep going, let go, you know. And hero levels. You would want energy, because energy increases your mana, max mana, mana regen, and skill damage, because a lot of your skills will give you added magic damage based on energy. It'll say if you hover over. You want armor because you don't have any block chance anyways with Iris. So like 5%, like more armor is going to do more than 5%. Like if you had really high block chance, maybe block chance is probably better there in that scenario. Elemental damage because not much crit. And even if you did have a lot of crit, elemental damage is still probably better, depending. Divine Shield, because we are not an APS build here. Oh, and just to mention, in my if you did make a Magic Preacher, that'll still work, obviously. You can just grab any shield and do work. And you can still use the Bone Frags setup if you want. You can try out what works for you. I use Master Poisoner just because I'm used to that being the strongest last season, and we're not an APS build anyway, so this whole, both of these 40 and 50 kind of suck for non-APS builds, but it's whatever. So I just use Divine Shield because just in case, and Poison because I know how much damage it does. So, oh, and here, sorry, you'd want, boom, all these. Obviously, move speed for farm. If you want to min-max, you would slot Def Runes in your gear. I just slotted a bunch of Def Runes. Those are 1% speed, which will multiply your base speed. On my Merc is still Windstride and Gladstone, so that's not really budget, but if you want to really min-max farming, you probably want to craft a Windstride anyway, because Feint is pretty insane. That's also going to multiply your speed pretty heavily. Now, let's just showcase this quick, and I should stop babbling. Of course, for upgrades, you would want Belt of Skulls here. And for Monkey Skin, like Power of the Void for Potion, but that definitely not necessary. Quickening Zephyr for Ring. Or if you want more damage, get something like, you know, Demon Eye or whatever. Frostband. But I would just use Dragon Steel. You don't need the extra damage. Sheep Set. That's what I run usually. And Beacon of Shadows with Mirage. Beacon of Shadows has Elemental Break, Mirage has a Spell Mirror, which is really nice, but you don't need it for farm. So with just these starter items, I can just... This is Health 5, by the way. Don't mind the lag. I have an ancient computer. Now see these blood demons building up, following me. They will despawn, so if you don't need them, you don't need them, but when you do need them, they come in handy. They're not going to do a ton of damage with this gear, but I mean, especially once you get better gear than I have, this is basically starting gear I'm using, farming Hell 5. Minus Enigma. They start to put in work. I probably shouldn't have said starter gear since I'm using Enigma. And set items are can be kind of pricey too, but yeah, just ignore me. It's not complete starter, but it's pretty budget. Besides the chest. Just gonna do a few maps to showcase. And also remember, I'm using a level 1 belt and no helmet. Thanks. It's pretty laggy, which kind of sucks. Not sure what's going on there. Dude. I just got this. I just got one before, testing before I was recording. Now I get another one while recording. Oh, that's funny. It's funny because I've only got 2 all season, and then I get 2 literally within 10 minutes. Gotta love this game sometimes. And that kind of sucks because I was thinking of redoing this video because I've been babbling and going on about random stuff, but now I gotta upload it because that just happened. But yeah, I just wanted to show Blood Demons, Blood Surge, and Bone Storm. If you don't want to spec into Blood at all, you just go like Bone Frags. More Ominous Presence. I mean, all you really need is Bone Storm with the set, but if you're just running that, you gotta try a little harder, you know, to hug enemies. That's why I prefer running the Surge and the Demons just for that extra, you know. Obviously this destroys boss dungeons because it's all narrow corridors and your Bone Storm just shreds them. And if you're not Demonspawn, still craft Enigma. This chest is OP. Best item of Season 14. Don't at me. Oh, it's so stuttery. Hopefully that's not triggering anyone watching. It's triggering me, that's for sure. Yeah, I think I'm not forgetting anything. Sorry, I kind of suck at videos, but figured I'd try to help any demon spawns out there. Because I have done a fair amount of testing this season with them. So, yeah, and if you don't know about the HS editor, I heavily suggest that. Maybe ask in the community Discord for a link and test that. It can modify your local files. It's completely fine and allowed. To just choose whatever build items and whatnot you would like to test. Anyways, so with that being said, hope this helped, and feel free to leave suggestions or questions in the comments, or message me anytime on Discord, same name, Keka, or Barely Kuda, or in-game. I play on US East. So, thanks for watching, and see you soon.